Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bobby's French lessons. I've got two games for you today. Let's get into the first game between Bobby and Blaine, played in 1964, where Bobby starts off with e4, e6, the French defense. We get d4 and d5. So as you know, Bobby likes to develop the knight to defend the pawn, known as the Paulson variation. We got bishop to e7, Blaine just developing, knight to f3, knight f6, hitting the pawn. So two attackers and one defender, so we have to do something. Bobby pushes, hitting the knight. Knight f to d7. Bobby develops the bishop to face towards black's king side. We get c3 from Blaine. And takes, also hitting the bishop. But Bobby doesn't care about the bishop and continues to castle. Blaine delaying castling and develops knight b to d7. And rook coming in to help out defending the e-pawn. b6 and bishop developing to e3. We get queen to c7, bishop goes out to support the pawn, and bishop to a6. Note in the French that the light squared bishop for black is bad, so they always like to trade it off. We get a4 and takes, and rook to an open file. But here the fish actually wanted black to just castle because of the following move, rook to c1, x-raying the queen. Now Blaine castles, but it's a move too late because of the tactic. And as you can see, knight takes on g5 with a nasty hit on the bishop with check and also hitting his queen. So the best move is to move the queen to defend the bishop. So we got queen going back. We got takes, and now you don't take back with a queen because of the following. So basic stuff that I'm showing you guys. And in the game we got bishop correctly taking back and knight dropping back from Bobby. Here the fish actually wanted him to take the bishop. Anyway, we get the queen coming out from the back rank and pressing the e-pawn, but it's well defended. We get knight to the center with the e-pawn still having two attackers and two defenders, so everything still under control. We get bishop develops to b7, queen heading towards the king side over here, and we get knight c5 hitting the other knight as well as the pawn. So we get takes and takes, giving black an isolated c-pawn. And queen to f4, h6, a rook hitting the pawn. So two attackers and two defenders. And we get takes, eliminating one attacker. Bobby takes back and f6. This is a blunder because it allows you to take advantage of the pin again. So we get d4 with the idea of pushing the pin. Here the fish actually wanted b4. So Bobby understanding the principle of using the pin. We get queen getting out of the pin and hitting the undefended pawn. Now Bobby blunders back with d5, blundering the b pawn in essence. We get takes and a rook to f6 defending the pawn. Note the bishop was pinned, so Blaine couldn't take the d pawn with his pawn. We get Bobby taking, Blaine takes, hitting the queen. Queen moving out of the way, and Blaine proposes a queen trade. Bobby declines and plays queen to c4, setting up a dirty trick for Blaine if he doesn't spot it. We get a blunder from Blaine, exactly what we were just talking about. Can you spot the tactic? So one, note the pawn is pinned to the queen because it's got two attackers, only one defender. And secondly, the queen and the rook are on similar colored squares. So yes, the move is knight to d fork. Blaine still plays on. The bar says 9.7 in white's favor. Bobby takes, and with queen recapturing, checkmate is unavoidable with mate in 7. Bobby takes, and Blaine unfortunately resigned in this position. And just to quickly run through the mate in 6, then we'll go into the second French game. So this is mate in 2. And obviously mate in 1. So nice tactics from Bobby. Let's move on to the second French lesson. Okay, game number 2. It's between Bobby and Eugene, played in 1970. And as you guys already know the first couple of moves. Knight to c3, the Paulson variation. We get takes and takes. And Eugene develops his knight. Bobby does the same. And we get knight g to f6, hitting Bobby's knight. Bobby pins it to the queen, and Eugene develops the bishop, and at the same time unpinning the knight. We get takes and takes. and Bobby develops the bishop. So we can see against the French, the light squared bishop many times developed to d3 according to Bobby. We get castles and queen to e2, so Bobby can castle in either direction. We get c6 and Bobby decides to long castle. Get queen to c7 from Eugene, and the pawns start rolling down the board. b6, knight jumps to the center, bishop to b7, rook left to h3, and rook a to d8. So just centralizing the rooks. We get rook to g3 from Bobby, king to h8. We get takes and takes, and queen going in for the kill. So now two attackers on the h7 pawn. What to do? We get a mistake from Eugene. Here we can see the fish wanted g6, and here Bobby finds the incredible move that I would have never found. Rook to g6. Oh no, my rook. And just a fun fact, the best move in this position for black is just to get the king out of the way. Quite a sad move. Anyway, in the game we got the unfortunate pawn takes rook on g6, and ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, mate in 11. And Bobby finds the best move. Queen takes on g6, threatening mate on h7. And ladies and gentlemen, Eugene resigned in this position on move 18. According to the fish, it's mate in 10 and would have played out as follows. For those who are interested. See the knight also going in. Now just limiting the king on squares and mate. Hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks for watching.